New at 10, it's been a season filled with controversy for the San Jose State University women's volleyball program over a transgender teammate. The issue has garnered national attention.
Just last week, a class action lawsuit was filed against the university and the NCAA, calling for transgender women to be banned from college sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Vary. That's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And today we're going to talk about the San Jose State women's volleyball team. Yes, we are, because it's gotten national attention because there is a biological male playing on that team. Several teams that were supposed to play against them have already forfeited games, and now they have reached the finals of their, conference championship because the team that was supposed to play them in the semifinal forfeited the game because they're taking a stand against this because they feel, one, it's not fair, two, it's not safe, and they think that something should be done about this, that men, biological men, should not be playing in women's sports. So I feel that they are taking the courageous stand, and they're the ones that are being called into question for it, which I'll get into my original and usual theme of they cause the problem, someone tries to solve the problem, like us, we become the problem. You're going to see that on full display here. Let's go.
Team captain who joined the lawsuit and the only one to speak publicly about the issue, Brooke Slusser, agreed to sit down with KTVU's Bailey O'Carroll to discuss her position.
I feel like there's so many emotions that go into all of it, like anger, sadness, like regret, just like of all schools for me to end up at, why this one?
So this girl's the captain of the team that this biological man plays on, and she's taking a stand against this person because she knows it's not fair. She actually has had the courage to come out and say something about this. And believe me, she's taking a ton of heat for it.
Brooke Slusser, a co-captain on the San Jose State women's volleyball team, is in her senior year, and she's getting more attention for what she's doing off the court than her performance on it. But she says she wouldn't change that. The Spartans' season has been overshadowed by controversy surrounding a transgender teammate who Slusser says she once lived with and called a friend.
I think all of me and my roommates were pretty good friends the whole time.
But Slusser says the two have never had a conversation about her teammate being transgender. Instead, she referred to it as the elephant in the room and says the university told her and other teammates not to bring it up.
I just don't think it's right in women's sports. It has nothing to do with the way someone wants to live their life day to day. That's not an issue. I think live the way you want to live. But just when it comes to the fairness and safety of women playing, there's a reason that there's two different divisions for men and women.
Seems pretty simple. Live the way you want to live, but don't affect other people's lives because of your choices. You're affecting their lives in a negative way, something they didn't ask for. You can live the way you want, but your decisions and your actions are affecting everyone around you negatively.
The class action lawsuit filed last week, Slusser claims her rights and safety have been jeopardized by sharing a court with her transgender teammate. When asked about how and why she felt unsafe, Slusser said,
the height that the person can jump is so much higher, and honestly higher for a man. It's insane. And then the strength behind the ball when they're swinging is also just so much more powerful.
But her transgender teammate's stats don't appear to give the Spartans a dramatic...
Here goes the media now. They're going to try to spin it that this is okay because the stats don't indicate it. Well, my eyes tell me something different when I'm watching this person play.
Upper hand. The San Jose State women's volleyball team is ranked 119th nationally, but nonetheless...
Maybe the team stinks, and they probably wouldn't have made it even anywhere near the conference tournament if this person wasn't on the team. Maybe the rest of the team just isn't that good. Maybe the coaching sucks. Who knows?
Slusser claims safety is one of her top concerns.
This person, she's right on the far left at the net. It gets very confusing.
There's many times for multiple people all the time that we're having to try and dodge the balls that are coming straight at our face. And I've been hit multiple times by the balls, and I've had bruising on my legs.
Keep the jokes out of it, guys.
It's just from trying to dodge it, and it catches my thigh, and I've had a bruise on my thigh for weeks.
Bumps, bruises, and minor injuries are common in Division I volleyball.
It's common. So, yeah, just shut your mouth. Take the bruises, take the bumps, stop being scared. Man up.
As is practicing against men. But when pressed, Slusser said she's never been injured to the point of coming off the court.
Right. She hasn't been injured to the point of, being incapacitated yet. So stop complaining. You know, that's what we're being told here. Stop complaining. You haven't been killed yet, or, you know, you haven't been concussed to the point where you've been lying in a hospital bed for a couple of days. So just shut up. All right? Like I said, man up, you know? Let's go.
In total, there are approximately 500,000 female athletes in the NCAA. Trans female athletes account for less than 50.
This is an important conversation for us to have.
Sid Ziegler, a co-founder of Outsports.com, an LGBTQ-focused publication, says it's a discussion that needs to be had.
I've been running Outsports for 25 years. I've written about trans athletes over 2 decades before anyone was talking about it. For me, it's important for every athlete to have a path to inclusion.
He added,
Start your own league. Start their own league. That's it. Or play in a co-ed. That's simple. This isn't rocket science. Again, this is 2 + 2 = 4. Start your own league. You don't belong playing with biological women. End of story.
that in this particular case, the issue should not be with the San Jose State volleyball player, rather the governing bodies.
Yeah, they're cowards.
This athlete is not the problem. If you have an issue with this athlete competing, your issue is with the NCAA and USA Volleyball.
I disagree. I think the athlete knows what they're doing also, and they take some responsibility and culpability for this. Yes, the governing bodies, most of the people that run them are cowards. They're spineless cowards, and they're all afraid of actually taking a stand, unlike this young girl who's had to take the stand for herself, which is shameful that she's had to do that and put herself out there. I'll also say this. Kind of, in a way, I almost want to say to her also, though, why are you or your teammates still playing? Walk off the court. She can't go out there and play by herself. This biological male can't go out there and play by himself. Walk off the court. Stop playing. Forfeit your own games. That's what I would say. I get it. You don't want to lose your scholarship. See, this is the thing. They're now the problem now. This girl who's taking a stand is now the problem. She's the bigot because she doesn't want to play with a biological male in an all women's league. When I said about that kid Jazz came out about 15 years ago, and I said back then, I said, there's going to be young boys that don't want to date this now girl who's not a girl, and because they don't want to date this person, they'll be called the bigots. And we are totally there now. 100%. You don't want it. This girl on this volleyball team doesn't want to play with this biological male on her team. She's the problem now. That's where we are.
Bring it up with them.
Since becoming the only member of the San Jose State women's volleyball team to speak out, Slusser has become the face of the controversy.
Right. She's the
this
problem.
season, 6 teams have chosen to forfeit matches against the Spartans.
I think the biggest issue is...
I believe it's now 7 because I think that team just forfeited the game to get to the finals.
One, it's not safe, like with what we've talked about. It's just no woman's ever going to have that strength and power that they have. And 2, they're taking opportunities and scholarships and medals away from women that have worked their entire lives for it.
Right. Where are all the feminists? Where are you? Where are you? This is as plain in plain sight that women are being taken advantage of and losing opportunities because of this. Where are you? Now you're all full of crap. That's where you are. Where are the AOCs? Where are all of you?
KTVU reached out to San Jose State University. They said they're unable to comment due to student privacy laws.
So now we'll get into this Fox News report that just came out today.
So we've been talking a lot about them, maybe for the first time, the Mountain West Conference Volleyball Championship. And there's a obvious reason to it. It's because one of the teams, San Jose State University, does have a transgender player on the team. And this is the conference championship right now.
Just look at the cuts on the top of the arms, at the shoulders. Look at just bigger. It's just bigger and more cut and more defined. It's a man.
And what happened throughout the regular season is that many teams forfeited their games because they didn't want to play against this one particular transgender individual. So they took a stand and said, we're not going to play, which means that San Jose State won the game. So much so that they entered the conference championship with a first week bye, which really helped them out. And then the second game, the Boise State, I believe it was, forfeited the match. And now they're sailing through to the final tomorrow. So how about that? What's going to happen with that game? We don't know.
Whoever's playing against them should forfeit the game. I'm sorry. I hate to have them to have to do it because San Jose State doesn't have the courage to do it. So the other team's going to have to, lay on the grenade. That's what's going to have to happen. And it's going to have to keep happening until this nonsense stops.
But if that team ultimately forfeits, then that means that San Jose State wins.
They didn't win anything.
Here's the problem. It doesn't recognize, first of all, the danger. I think people may not remember. There was a circumstance where a transgender player was playing and I think spiked the ball and really hurt a girl. I believe it may have been a high school level. But my point for the story is simply this. It is inherently unfair. They know it. And I applaud the young women who are standing in solidarity and saying this is a slippery slope. If we're going to do co-ed, and then that's one thing. But if you're going to have different players, what happens? Let me just ask it this way. What happens if the next time or the next year there are 6 transgender players on that team? How do you think they'll do it? We're going to have
then we're gonna have teams handing out scholarships to the best transgender players in the country, and then that's it because they want to win. And then women's sports is gone. It's over. It's over. There will be no more women's sports. So keep going down this road, you faux feminists. Keep going down it. Keep supporting it. First of all, you're going to continue to lose elections, Democrats. And second of all, you will end women's sports within a decade. They'll be gone because you will have every university, every women's team giving scholarships to the best transgender biological males to play in the women's league. That's what you're going to have. And the scholarships for actual women will be gone. Keep it up. Keep it up.
6 transgender basketball players on a team. Now you really begin to tip the balance of competition, and I think that's what the players are saying as they step aside and forfeit these contests.
Yeah, and a lot of people are coming out with opinions on this. Yesterday we covered the Washington Post article that I think was atrocious. Today we've got this quote from Nancy Armour. She wrote an op-ed in the USA Today. She says, "For all the shrieking there is about transgender women athletes, is the cisgender women, it's the cisgender women pushing the forfeits who cost their fellow athletes opportunities to play and saddled their teams with losses. It's those women, not the San Jose State player, who are the real threat."
Bingo. What did I just say? What did I say? They're the problem now. They're the ones costing their fellow teammates because they're the ones who are banning the games. Let's read that again. It's exactly what I say all the time. They cause the problem. These girls that are taking the stand are trying to solve the problem. They're now the problem. Let's read that again.
Cisgender women, it's the cisgender women pushing the forfeits who cost their fellow athletes opportunities to play and saddled their teams with losses. It's those women, not the San Jose State player, who are the real threat.
Does this Nancy Armour, does she have children? I want to know if she has children, and I want to know if she has a daughter. I would like to know, because if she has a daughter and is saying this, then, she's probably not fit to be a parent. Second of all, if she doesn't, take a seat. I'm going to take a seat. Just like men can't talk about certain things because they're men, you don't have kids, you don't get to talk about this. You don't have a daughter, you don't get to talk about this issue. How do you like that? 2 could play that game.
Wow.
This is called gaslighting. I think the Washington Post article yesterday was just as bad, if not worse. And what they're doing is they're blaming the women who have the courage to stand up and saying that they are essentially the culprit or they're I think it's really important.
Right. They're the problem. It's like I said, they're the problem. It's the same thing with all of this, with immigration, with this issue, with so many issues. This is the game they play. Catch on to it so you can combat it and just say to them, I'm the problem because I'm trying to address and find a solution to the problem you caused. And you don't like my solution, so I'm the problem now.
I feel bad even for the girls playing on the San Jose State team because if they, their entire college career in playing volleyball is going to be dominated by this. Anything they accomplish will have an asterisk. And it's tough because women did fight to have some sort of opportunity.
I know it's hard. It's easy for me to say sitting here behind the screen, but they should walk off the court too. If they walked off the court game 1, I think this would have been kiboshed over.
Sports Title IX is the thing because someone brought it up and advocated for it. And what's really ironic about this is the majority of these pushing back are pushing back even against the sentiment of Title IX, saying that women as a gender don't deserve their own place in sports.
Yeah, it's so true. And
where's
this
Billie
woman who
Jean
wrote the
King?
op-ed said that the cisgender, meaning that the straight women,
Still alive?
are pushing the forfeits who cost their fellow athletes opportunities. What's really happening is that the teams are coming together and they're making the collective decision.
Yeah.
And saying, you know what, sometimes for the future of our sport, it's not about winning this individual tournament. It's about making that sacrifice for fairness down the road.
That's right.
So they're standing up, but I think it's really a selfless act to do that and forfeit.
That's real courage. That's real courage. You'll see to the left, oh, what a courageous person this biological male is for, continuing to play. No, that's not courage. The courage is taking a stand. Like Riley Gaines, that's courage. This girl who's an unknown, more courage just to take that stand. Good for her. She was raised the right way. Her parents did a good job.
And I don't know how San Jose State as a team will feel if they win by not ever really playing.
Right.
So at some point, I think that individual player that this controversy is surrounded by needs to think about what brought them to this point.
That is the key.
Right. That player is the problem, not everybody else. That player is the problem. The league is the problem. The NCAA is the problem. Not everybody else speaking out against this lunacy.
For me, too. You said the perfect word, fairness. It is inherently unfair to tip the scales in one direction over another because, as I pointed out, if there's 6 or 5 on the court and they're jumping out of the gym, people say, oh, Kevin, you're taking it a bridge too far. This is one individual player. She deserves the opportunity to compete. Good. Go compete. Do what you want to do. But understand that you, as an individual player, are making an impact not just on all the players around you who are on that team for San Jose State, but you're impacting the opportunities and the careers, perhaps, of the other young women who are going to try to get into this tournament.
And it's not just what happens on the court of volleyball. A lot of the young girls who have come out and spoken out against this say, listen, we have to go into that locker room. And as far as they are concerned, that's a male.
That's right. That's
and going into that locker room with a male to be in their most vulnerable.
And this whole thing about, whether she, he's better than her, more powerful on the court. What about that? That alone. People are okay with this? Are you really okay with this? No. If you are, there's something wrong with you.
Moments undressing or what have you is incredibly uncomfortable, if not scary to them. They're not bad people. They're not bigots for feeling that way. It's a very visceral and human reaction, and I think it should be respected. And I think that this is all part of this tide that's coming back towards common sense.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield? You probably haven't. It's probably from the early 90s. But it was making it was a parody. We are now living that movie Ladybugs. In the movie, it was a boy who was a good soccer player, and Rodney Dangerfield, from what I remember, he was working for a company, and the boss of the head of the company wanted Rodney Dangerfield to coach the girls' soccer team that is sponsored by the company, and I think the boss's daughter was on the team, so Rodney Dangerfield needed to do well. I forget exactly why. It's been years. But his stepson, I believe, was a good male soccer player, and he dressed him up as a girl and put him on the team. And the team was just, he was running through the field, killing everybody. Just, couldn't be stopped. He was unstoppable. I think they named him Martha. And then at the end, they found out that it was a boy. But it's a Rodney Dangerfield movie. It's funny, but my point is, we're living that now, and now we're supposed to accept it as reality, as it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. I have a daughter, and to think that an opportunity could have been taken away from her, by a biological male playing dress up, is infuriating. And if you don't have a problem with that, something's not right. Your virtue signaling is so out of control. Where's your? If somebody's watching this and disagrees with me, that's fine. But you need to explain to me what's going through your head that you think that's okay. Especially if you have a daughter. I really need to know why you think that's okay. I think. Can Trump put a national ban on this with the college NCAA with Title IX? Is there some way he could do it? If he can, he should. And maybe start to end this craziness, this debate that we're having that 10, 15 years ago, you would think there's not going to be a debate. What are you talking about? This is crazy. Here we are. And you have people that'll die on the hill for this. It's crazy. But now the girls that are going to die on the hill of righteousness, the right side of the hill, they're the ones being called the problem, as is per usual. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that San Jose State should, whatever the team's playing, this next team in the finals should forfeit? I think they should. Do you think that the girls on San Jose State, you think they should have walked off the court day one when this started going on? Apparently their assistant coach got suspended because she had the courage to speak out about it and said, I don't agree with this. This is wrong. Tell me what you think in the comments. I appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Continue to follow me at Opinions Vary.